Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. This morning we are going to be moving through a 90-minute flow for flexibility. So really focusing on lengthening out the muscles of the legs in particular. So we'll go hamstrings, inner thighs, and then a little bit around the shoulders as well. So we should all leave this practice feeling a little bit longer. So finding a seat on your mat. I am sitting up on a pillow. You can sit straight on your mat or find some height underneath your hips. For other props we'll be using today, you might want a blanket for underneath your knees if you're not on carpet. You might want blocks or a small chair to raise your hands at any point. So just the sort of things you would normally reach for in a yoga class. There's nothing specific that I'm going to be using, so if you don't have anything around you, all good. We're modifying in a way that works for you. So taking your time, finding space on your mat. And then once we're there, we're sitting in a cross-legged position to start with. Just look down and notice what leg you've put in front naturally, and we're going to switch it. And then as much as possible, the knees melt down toward the mat so the hips are raised above the knees. If you want to pop more height underneath your hips, do so. And we sit with a lengthened spine. Take a moment, close your eyes, and check in with your energy levels this morning. If you're feeling a little low or flat, I invite you to turn your palms to face up, beckoning a lift in energy, gesturing your openness to receive from your practice today. If you are already feeling a bit flighty, really energetic and a bit scattered, I invite you to turn your palms to face down on your knees or your thighs to grow a sense of grounding, of connection. So this simple hand gesture already brings us into a deepened state of awareness of what we need from our practice today. And take your time to feel whatever it is you're seeking. And as you explore this, an intention might form in your mind. And if that is the case for you this morning, allow that intention to come down into your body. Something for you to move with as we explore on our mats this morning. Start to notice how you're breathing. The breath travels in and out through the nose. How does it feel? Perhaps these are the first few conscious breaths of your day, so we're not yet trying to change anything. Just observing. With this focus on the breath, it will naturally start to lengthen out, to grow, to expand. Encourage this actively, so we're breathing in a little deeper on the inhale, breathing out more completely on the exhale. So today's practice not only increases flexibility through the body, but also through the breath, also through the mind. We're going to start with a pranayama that lengthens out the breath. So nice and simple, just a counting exercise. Wherever you are in your rhythm of breath, exhale completely. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. Empty out. Close down the mouth. Inhale for 2. 1. Exhale 2. 1. Inhale 2. 1. Exhale 2. 1. Count with me. We're going to increase. Inhale 3. 2. 1. Exhale 3. 2. 1. Inhale 3. 2. 1. Exhale 3. 2. 1. Inhale 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale 4. 3. 2. 1. Finding space. Inhale 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale. And you can stay with the count of 4. 2. 1. Or we increase. Inhale 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale slowly, steadily. 3. 2. 1. Inhale 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale 5. Noticing how the mind is responding to this challenge. And if you're stiffening, try and relax. 1. Inhale 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale 5. You can stay with this count. 3. Or we increase. 2. 1. Inhale 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Release any specific count that you have, but keep the breath long and steady. I'm just taking a moment to observe how you feel now. Maybe a little more centered, a little more focused, or maybe something else entirely. Whatever it is, it's okay. But becoming aware that how we breathe can really affect how we feel, how we act in any given circumstance. Let's aim to maintain this lengthened rhythm of breath as we move through our practice today. So when you're ready, bringing your palms together at the center of your chest in Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment to welcome your practice into your heart, into your mind, into your body. And when you feel ready, softly blinking open the eyes. We're going to make our way straight over into a tabletop. So planting the hands down, you can roll over the knees or come around. If you were sitting up on something, just pop it out to one side. If you want to pop a blanket underneath your knees for a little extra padding, please do so. And drawing the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And we'll start with some cat-cow undulation. So as you inhale, tilt the tailbone up, draw the belly down, the chest forward, the gaze forward. As you exhale, chin to chest, middle back to ceiling, tailbone tilts down, belly hollows out. Inhale, tailbone up, belly stretches, chest and gaze forward. Exhale, chin to chest, hollow out the belly, curl the spine. Try and make the movement as fluid as possible. Inhale. So you're moving with the full length of the breath. Exhale, not rushing the movement and then having to pause at the end. Continuous flow. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep breath in. And full breath out. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Draw your big toes together. You can keep your knees as wide as they are or take them a little bit wider. As you exhale, press your hips back toward your heels. If this isn't quite reaching today, you might want to take a blanket or a pillow in between your thighs and your calves. Otherwise, drawing all the way down, forehead toward the mat or to a pillow. We're going to activate through the arms by sending the fingertips downward to the mat, lifting the palms, lifting the elbows. So coming up onto your little spider fingers. And then if you feel there's space, walk your fingers a little bit further forward. Draw your sit bones right back toward your heels. Feel the length of the torso, the opening of the upper chest, of the shoulders, of the inner thighs, of the lower back. Let's take a deep breath in together. And a full breath out. On the next inhale, lift the head. Keep the sit bones anchored as you exhale. Walk both hands off the mat to the right. Left hand comes on top of the right. The palms can ground. The forehead comes back down. And then we really draw left sit bone toward left heel. Lengthening out your left side. Just one inhale here. And full exhale. Releasing the interlace of the fingers, lift the head, walk your hands back through center. Inhale. Exhale, walking out to the left. Right hand comes on top of your left, interlace your fingers, and then lower yourself back down toward the mat. Actively draw right sit bone toward right heel to lengthen out your right side. Take a deep breath into it. And a complete breath out. Inhale, lift the head, release the interlace of the fingers. And let's exhale, walk back to center, looking toward your hands, spread your fingers, press into your palms now. Inhale, roll back up. Separating the feet, tucking the toes under. Exhale, press yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Straight away, we're gonna move. Inhale, roll to the tippy toes. Lift hips, lift heels. Exhale, soften the knees, press toward your down dog. Twice more. Inhale, lifting up, finding space. Exhale, softening the knees, drawing the heels downward, facing dog. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. The next inhale, lift right up to your tippy toes, look toward the front of the mat, and we're going to walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Feet come together. Unless this is uncomfortable on your lower back, they can stay hip distance apart. Big toes touch as a little bit apart if you are working with them together. drawing the inner thighs in toward each other. Inhale, we're going to take the hands to the shins, half lift, gaze down. Exhale, flow back down toward your legs. Soften the knees so your belly rests on your thighs. Twice more. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften. Once more, deep breath in. And long breath out. On the next inhale, we're going to come all the way up to standing. Flat back as you lift. Sweep the arms wide. Lift and lengthen, reaching high. Palms pressed together. And then exhale, draw the hands through the center line to your heart. So trying not to be too rigid or staccato with our movement. So we're not tensing in one spot, moving from here, then moving to there. We're flowing from one space to the other without letting the movement stop. So keep it going. And when I practice like this, it's quite a slow practice, and I like to imagine that I'm moving through something thick and delicious like honey. Okay, so find whatever you want to be moving through. Hands to heart, shoulders relaxed. Let's take a deep breath in together. And a full exhale. Slowly, as you inhale, sweep the arms wide and up, reaching high toward the ceiling. As you exhale, soften the knees, hinge at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flow to your half lift, lengthen. Exhale, melt back down, plant the hands. Inhale, step right foot back. Exhale, step left foot back, lower the knees, press hips to heels. Inhale, lift hips away from heels, roll forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower down, one line onto the belly. Inhale, lift the head, shoulders, and chest, low cobra. Exhale, melt back down toward the mat. Tuck the toes under, press away from the mat, inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, slowly flow your right leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, bend the knee and peel open through your right hip. Inhale, see if you can draw your right knee any higher by lifting right up onto the left tippy toes. So we have space, roll forward, exhale, right knee toward nose. Step your right foot in between your hands. Left knee is going to release down toward the mat. Untuck your left toes, squeeze your inner thighs. Inhale, send the chest forward. And then as you exhale, we're going to pull the hips back evenly, send the right leg towards straight. So we're doing this a few times. Inhale, drawing the chest forward. You don't need to go to the maximum range of your flexibility. We're just starting to explore. Exhale, pull back. Movement is steady. One more time like this. Inhale. Exhale. And you can stay with the hands grounded, or we're going to add arms by inhaling, drawing forward, sweeping the arms up, lifting through the chest. Exhaling, drawing back, reaching the hands forward, not down. Twice more. Inhale, remembering you have the option to bring the hands back down at any point. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Okay, we come back up, inhale. Stay in your lunge legs, exhale, circle your hands forward, and actually we're gonna go down to the right knee. Press against your right knee and lift up so your shoulders come over your hips. And then work on tucking the tailbone under, drawing your hip bones and your lower ribs toward each other, like you're doing a little sit-up. We start to really feel that left hip flexor. We're nice and stable through the hips. And this might be more than enough for that hip flexor for that left quad. Working on the stability of the structure here. If you're wanting a little bit more and your left knee is happy, we're going to pick that left foot up and reach back with the left hand. Now, as you reach back with the left hand, your left shoulder will start to draw back. Let that happen today, but don't let the left hip pull back. The hip stays square, so there's a little twist that we're adding in. Right hand to right knee, left shoulder draws back, left hip draws forward. And you can stay here if you're feeling a little bit fancy. Maybe reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Wherever you are, breathing. For 3, and even when we're holding a shape, it doesn't mean it's solid or still. So adjust as you need to. Feel the movement of your breath. For 2. Explore the shape. For 1, beautiful. If your right arm is lifted, it's a slow circle back down toward your right knee. If your left foot is lifted, it's a careful release of the left foot as you flow your left arm forward and up. Bring your right arm to join it. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the hands forward and down. Frame your right foot. Back toes are tucked. Inhale, lift the back knee, lift the hips. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Feet land together if that's where you're working, or hip distance apart. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, melt down, Uttanasana. Pressing into the feet, inhale, flow up. Circle the arms up, palms press. Exhale, we're going to fold straight back down. Hinge the hips, soften the knees. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands firmly down to the mat. Inhale, step your left leg back. Exhale, step your right leg back. Bring the knees down, untuck the toes, sink hips to heels. Inhale, roll up and forward. Shoulders come in front of your wrist, belly button to lower back. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift head, shoulders, and chest, maybe hands. Squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other. Exhale, lower yourself back down. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, press hips back to heels. Exhale, lift hips, downward facing dog. It's the left leg that slowly floats up on the next inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Inhale, see if you can take the left knee any higher by lifting right up into the right tippy toes. And then exhale, draw your left knee around and forward toward your nose. Carefully step your left foot in between your hands. Bring your right knee down, untuck your back toes. Squeeze your inner thighs. Inhale, send the chest forward. Exhale, draw the hips back. Starting to find some length through the left leg. Twice more with the hands down. Inhale, chest forward. Remember, this doesn't need to go through your maximum range of movement. Exhale. We're just starting to explore. Pull back. One more time. Deep breath in. Long breath out. And you can keep your hands down, or we're adding in the arms. Inhale, draw forward, sweep the arms forward and up, really lift through the chest, lift out of your hips. Exhale, draw the hips back, lengthen that left leg, reach the hands forward, not down. Twice more, inhale. Keeping the hips as even as you can as you flow through this movement. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We come back up on the inhale. Keep the lunge leg, sweep the hands forward and then down to your left knee. Exhale. And then notice what's going on here. I'm sunk quite deep into my lunge. I don't want to be quite this low. So I'm going to really engage my inner thighs. Start to work on tilting my tailbone down and underneath me. And as we take that tilting downward action, you'll feel your hip bones and your lower ribs draw toward each other. Make that more active, like you're doing a little sit-up. And your right hip flexor really starts to stretch. So we don't need to be here in order to feel the stretch. It actually works a lot more on lengthening here just by the angle of your pelvis, the tilt of your pelvis. So we might want to be staying here, feeling the stability of this shape, maybe exploring where you feel the stretch. Otherwise, left hand to left knee. Inhale, circle the right arm up. Exhale, lift the right foot off the mat and reach back. So right hip is still tracking forward, right shoulder pulls back. So we're facing toward the long end of the mat, finding a little bit of a twist. You can stay here, or we lift the left arm up. And the lift of the left arm isn't just for pretty lines in the shape. The lift of the left arm really helps us find a draw upward out of the hip, so the upper body grows a little lighter. Wherever you are, for 3. Keep squeezing the inner thighs, for 2. For 1, if the left arm is lifted, inhale, reach a little bit higher, then exhale, slowly circle the left hand down. Release carefully the right foot. Inhale, sweep the right arm forward. Left arm joins it. Flow up. And then exhale, circle both hands down either side of the left foot. Tuck the toes on your right foot. Inhale, lift your right knee off the mat. Exhale, a big step forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift and lengthen out. Exhale, flow back down. Press down into the feet. Inhale, lift to standing. Circle the arms up. Palms press. We flow straight back down. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold firmly. Plant the hands down. Inhale, step right foot back. Exhale, step left foot back and find your plank, full plank. We're going to inhale here. You have the option to bring the knees down to the mat on the exhale, or you keep your knees lifted. 1 more inhale. And then bending at the elbows, lowering all the way down to the mat. If you were in your full plank, make sure the toes untuck. So we press through the tops of the feet, press through the pubic bone. Inhale, lift, chin, shoulders, chest, maybe hands away from the mat. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring the hands off the mat at shoulder height onto the timber as you lower down. Now lift the elbows up, refine your spider fingers. As you inhale, press into the tops of the feet, press into the pubic bone, start to peel up. We can use weight in the hands, so we might come a little bit higher. Exhale, right shoulder draws forward, right cheek lowers toward the mat, not all the way down, so you look over your left shoulder. Inhale, slowly, fluidly coming up through center. Draw belly button to backbone, let the core help you lift. Exhale, left shoulder forward, look back over your right shoulder. We're going to do 1 more either side. Inhale, making sure that you're using your torso, so not all the weight is in the hands. Exhale, right shoulder forward, look back over the left. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, left shoulder forward, look back over the right. Inhale, all the way up through center. And then exhale, we lower down through center. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg floats up. Exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Inhale, lift that right knee higher by rising onto the left tippy toes. Exhale, draw the right knee forward, step the right foot in between the hands. This time the back knee is going to stay lifted. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, sweep the hands forward and back. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward and back. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're going to come up, crescent lunge. And then use the exhale to bring the left heel down to the mat. So we're finding our warrior one legs. So as the heel draws down, the toes turn out. We really want to draw that left hip forward in space as much as we can. Tilt the tailbone under, but because the hips are slightly pulled out of line, there is less of a tilt. There is more of a back bend. Make sure that you're really lifting up through your chest. Inhale. Draw chest up to pull your torso out of your hips. And then on the exhale, we're going to circle the hands back behind us, interlace the fingers, or grab yourself a t-shirt or a strap. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift through the chest. Slowly, carefully hinge at the hips, fold forward, exhale, coming toward your devotional warrior. Arms draw up and overhead. Head is heavy. Neck is long, jaw is relaxed. Again, it's not stagnant. Allow yourself to explore the shape, noticing how you're using your front leg, noticing how you're using your back leg. For 3, 2, 1, lifting up and out of this just to halfway. So hands come back toward your lower back. Release the interlace of the fingers. Place your left hand down to the inside of your right foot. We're going to roll back onto the left toe so the hips really square off. And then inhale, reach the right arm up toward the ceiling. Right shoulder stacks on top of your left, reaching up through your right fingertips. For 3, 2, 1, keep that right arm lifted. Look down toward your left hand. We're going to carefully lower the left knee down toward the mat. So if you want to bring some height underneath the left hand, this is a really good opportunity just to lift the torso a little bit more if you're feeling like this is quite a reach. We might stay here, or we start reaching that right arm back toward the back of the mat. If you can gaze past your right fingertips, do so. We might stay here, or we bend the left knee and reach for the foot. So drawing the right shoulder back, drawing the right hip forward, finding the twist, kicking the left foot back in space to really deepen that twist. Make sure you're pressing down through the left palm and out of the left shoulder, and breathing wherever you have landed. For 3, 2, 1. If you have a hold of the foot, it's a careful release. Left leg back, right leg up on the inhale. And then we're going to close the right hand down toward the mat. Exhale. Track the chest forward. Tuck the left toes. Lift the left knee. Inhale. Step the left foot forward. Fold over your legs. Exhale. Half lift, lengthen. Inhale. Soften and fold back down. Exhale. Press down through the feet, rise to standing slowly, not rushing toward anything, palms press, and we fold back down, Uttanasana, exhale. Half lift, lengthen, inhale. The breath guides the movement. Exhale, place the hands down firmly onto the mat. Inhale, step left foot back. Exhale, step right foot back, full plank. Let's all inhale here together, nice and strong. You have the option to exhale, bring the knees down. Hello. Inhale, draw your shoulders forward. So knees up or knees down. Exhale, lower all the way down if your knees are down, or find your chaturanga if your knees are up. Inhale to your cobra, or perhaps sweeping to your up dog. Chest between upper arms. Cobras lower down first, then press back. Up dogs roll over the toes. And we all meet together in our downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And the complete exhale. The inhale flows the left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Inhale, roll to the right, tippy toes, lift the right heel, draw the left knee even higher. Keep that height, that push away from the mat as you draw the left knee forward and step the left foot down in between the hands. So the back knee is staying lifted this time. Go light in your fingertips. Inhale, sweep up, crescent lunge. Hips even, exhale, sweep the torso forward, the arms back, arrowhead. 2 more times. Inhale, fluid movements. Notice if there's any part on this journey that you're really wanting to rush. Exhale, and more actively slow that down. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're coming back up. The exhale is going to ground the right heel for your warrior one legs. If your right hip is pulled back, start to really draw it forward in space. Inhale, lift up, reach through the chest, draw out of your hips. And then exhale, circle the hands down, interlace the fingers behind you. Or grab that t-shirt or anything, or you can just reach the hands back if the fingers aren't finding each other. Inhale, draw back, lift through the chest. Bow forward, hinging at the hips. Exhale, devotional warrior, yes. Arms draw up and overhead. And then check in with different parts of your body. How are you using your right foot? How are you using your left foot? How can you draw your hands up to find more stretch for the shoulders? Relax your jaw to find more stretch for the neck. Wherever you are for 3. Breathing through it for 2. For 1. As you inhale, coming up just to halfway. So the hands reach back toward the lower back. Release the interlace of the fingers or whatever you're holding onto. Exhale, plant the right hand down inside the left foot. Inhale, roll back to your right tippy toes. Feel the hips automatically really even out. Beautiful, we want to keep that. Reach your left arm up. Left shoulder stacks on top of the right, reaching through the left fingertips. Touching the ceiling for 3. 2. 1. Keep the left arm up, look down toward your right hand, and bring your right knee carefully down to the mat. We might want to work here, or we start reaching the left hand back, looking back over your left fingertips. If you want to bring some height underneath the right hand, this is a great place to do that. And we can stay working here, big opening of the body. Or we bend the right knee, adding in a little bit more by taking hold of that right foot. Kick the right foot back in space and feel the left shoulder draw back even more. Press away from the mat, so lift up rather than sinking down toward it. This keeps you a little bit more active, a little bit more stable. For 3. Settling into your rhythm of breath for 2. For 1. If you have a hold of your foot, carefully releasing it in slow motion, drawing the right toes back, the left arm up toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, close that left arm down to the outside edge of your left foot. Tuck the back toes. Inhale, lift the right knee up. Exhale, step your right foot forward to meet your left. Inhale, half lift, lengthen it out. Exhale, soften, fold down. Pressing down into the feet, inhale, rise to standing. Circle the arms up. And we're going straight back down, exhale. Half lift, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, fold, plant the hands down, step back to your plank and move through your vinyasa. That might mean skipping the vinyasa entirely and going straight to your down dog. That might mean resting for a few moments, bringing the knee down or keeping the knees lifted, whatever works for you. Take your time, and we meet back in our downward facing dog. Here we are for a full breath in. And a complete exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, right knee reaches even higher. Exhale, draw your right knee forward. Float your right foot in between your hands. Lighten the hands now. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. And we're going to exhale, really press down into the right foot. Inhale, draw your left knee up into your chest. Exhale, bring both hands to your left knee. Interlace your fingers, so you've got a nice good grip on your knee, and then roll your shoulders back, lift through your chest, lift through the crown of the head. Finding what it is to be standing on one foot today. You can stay here, your hands supporting your knee, or if you feel you've got a little bit more reach, left fingertips wrap around the left big toe, and we start to draw the left heel forward. Right hand can come to right hip. All right, the leg doesn't need to be straight, so we can work with a bent leg here. For 3, keep lifting through the chest, rolling the shoulders back. For 2, breathe. For 1, if you have a hold of the knee, keep it. Take it just into your left hand. We're sending the left knee or the left foot out to the left. So whatever variation you're taking, it goes wide. The hips stay even. For 3, I'm going to turn to face you. For 2, plug the left hip down. For 1, draw the left foot back to center. And then if you do have a hold of the foot, we're releasing it and coming back to our grip on the knee, both hands. Chest forward, roll the shoulders back. Take a deep breath in. A long breath out. Keep the knee where it is. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, big step back with your left foot. Okay, inhale, reach the hands up a little higher. We're now peeling open to our warrior 2 on the exhale. So ground the left heel, peel the left hip back, reach the arms long in either direction. Look forward past your right fingertips. Working on this right leg now. We're going to inhale, press the leg to straight. Squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, reach the right hand forward. Keep the leg straight. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior 2. Inhale, come back up towards straight legs. Exhale, reaching the right hand forward. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, warrior 2. One more time. Inhale, lifting towards straight legs. Exhale, leaning forward, reaching through the right fingertips. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, warrior 2. Keeping your warrior 2 legs, flip your right palm up. Inhale, reach up toward the ceiling. Left hand goes back toward your left leg and hold. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, circle back up. Exhale, right elbow to right knee, left arm up and over. So we've got one line down the left side of the body. If you want to take this a little deeper, right fingertips come down to the mat to the outside of the right foot. Press your right knee out and into it. Reach between your left heel and your left fingertips. For 3, 2, 1, you might want to stay here today or we're going for a little balance. Left hand reaches up on the inhale. So that's your anchor up toward the ceiling, but we're looking down, walking the right hand forward, and then lifting the left leg up. So Ardha Chandrasana. We can stay here, feeling the length of the body, expanding outward like a star, or we add in a little bit of fancy by bending the left knee, catching the left foot in the left hand, and kicking that left leg high. Wherever you are, drawing away from the mat rather than toward it. For 3, 2, 1. If you've caught the foot, it's a slow motion release. Inhale, extend. Exhale, close the left hand off down toward the mat. So if you are still in your extended side angle, we want to be squaring the torso off now. You might even want to lift the left leg, or you can keep the left leg down. Okay, so we're going to inhale here, whatever variation you've chosen. As you exhale, left knee toward the outside of your right ankle. Inhale, left leg either back or up. Exhale, left knee toward the outside of the right ankle. One more time. Inhale, left leg back or up. Exhale, left knee toward the outside of the right ankle. This time let it come all the way down. And we're going to carefully sit ourselves back into a twist. Both sit bones ground. So the right foot is to the outside of the left knee. We're going to close the twist. So right hand comes behind you. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, hook. And draw the right shoulder back, twist. Giving a long spine. Smoothing out the breath. For 3. 2. 1. Unhook the elbow, untwist, and we'll just go for a little counter twist, leaning both hands out to the left, looking back over your left shoulder for 3. 2. 1. Inhale, coming back up. We're going to go for our Gomukhasana, our cow face pose. It's quite strong on the hips and the knees. So what we're aiming to do is stack the knees. If even just the idea of that, you're like, not today, Nalini. You might want to bring some height underneath your hips. So before you come into it, sitting up on something. Or you can work with the bottom leg, so that will be the left leg extended. So I'm going to turn around to face you. I've got my twist legs. I'm going to start to inch my right foot around until the right knee just about stacks on top of the left. So having something underneath your hips for some height just lifts out of the hips a little bit, and it's not quite as strong. Otherwise, we're squeezing the inner thighs. Hands can come onto the feet. If you feel like one sit bone's a little bit more lifted than the other, pick both of them up and carefully place them both back down. Oh, hello, hips. We might want to stay here, placing your hands stacked on top of your knees. Closing the eyes and simply feeling. Again, it's not stagnant. There is a rhythm of your breath here, so if you need to move, move with that. Notice how your mind responds. And if you're feeling quite spacious in your hips today and you want to take this a little further, you do have the option now to walk the fingertips down and start to lean forward into this. I'm going to stay upright today. Shoulders are relaxed, jaw is relaxed, teeth are unclenched. We'll go for 3 more breaths. Okay, if you've started to lean forward, bringing yourself back up to an upright position. Walking your hands back behind you, so leaning back into the hips. And then uncrossing the legs, bringing the feet down to hip distance apart. If you are sitting up on something, pull that something out from underneath your hips. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, draw the knees out to the left and look over the right shoulder. Windscreen wiper legs, one of my favorite things at the moment. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, knees out to the right, look over the left. We'll just do one more either side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knees to the left, look to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knees to the right, look to the left. Inhale, back to center. We're going to bring... No, we're not. We're going to keep the feet hip distance apart. Take the weight out of the hands. Lean forward. And then exhale, roll all the way back onto our backs. We're just rolling back onto our backs so that we can make our way back up to a standing position. So this might not make sense, but we need to get low in order to lift ourselves back up, right? So we're going to start to rock and roll up the length of the spine. And we're going to aim to eventually land on our feet and do this as fluidly and as gracefully as possible. So give yourself permission to laugh at yourself if need be. Turn the corners of your mouth up. And when you're ready, rocking up, planting the feet onto the mat and lifting up to standing. Bring the feet together. The arms down beside the body. Take a full breath in. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. Then inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Float the arms up, inhale. Hinge at the hips, soften the knees, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands back down, step left foot, then right foot to your plank, and move through your vinyasa, whatever is calling to you this morning. Taking as many breaths as you need to move through, and then we meet back together in a downward facing dog. Landing in here and breathing. Okay, the left leg is going to lift on your next inhale when you're ready. Exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Inhale, left knee reaches up a little higher. Roll right up onto your right tippy toes. Find that space. Exhale, draw the left knee forward. Step the left foot down in between the hands. Inhale, flow up, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant through the left foot. Inhale, float the right knee up into the chest. And I'm going to turn to face you straight away here. Right knee floats up. Exhale, bring both hands to your right knee. Interlace your fingers. So you press the knee forward. Roll the shoulders back and the chest lifts up. And it's a nice way to find a little bit more height, a little bit more lift through the crown of the head here. We can stay. Or right hand comes toward the right big toe, left hand to left hip. Start to reach that right foot forward. Letting yourself wobble, and to move against that wobble, we're bringing the hips as much as possible to even. Remember, the right knee can stay bent. Keep lifting up through the crown of the head. Wherever you are, hand to knee or foot for 3. Breathe. 2. 1. Slowly start to reach the foot or the knee out to the right. Now, especially if you've got your foot, there's a tendency here to end up like this. And it's like, look, my foot is so high, but my hips are really not even. My right hip bone, oh my goodness, my right hip bone is up here. My left hip bone is down here. I want to bring this line parallel to my mat. Whew. And my right leg will go lower. That's cool. That's where you want it to be. For 3. Stop talking, Nalini. For 2. For 1, inhale, come back through center. And then if you've got the foot, we're gonna exhale, bend the knee. Come back to both hands on your knee. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Keep that lift. And then reach the arms up. Exhale, step it back, crescent lunge, and I'm gonna turn around so my back is not to you. Inhale, reach the arms up a little higher. Exhale, peel open, warrior 2. So left foot is forward, right foot is back. I've just switched myself around, and I'm gonna also do this so you can hear me. Warrior 2. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up through the crown of the head. A long breath out, and we start to really work through the left leg now. So inhale, draw the left leg towards straight. Squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, reach the left fingertips forward. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, bend through the left knee, warrior 2. With the breath, inhale, draw the left leg towards straight. Exhale, leaning forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior 2. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip your left palm up. Inhale, reach for the ceiling. Right hand reaches back for your right leg for 3. Lift and lengthen through your left side. 2. 1. Inhale, come back up, warrior 2. Exhale, left elbow to left knee, right arm up and over. You can stay working here, pressing out of the left shoulder, or you might want to reach your left fingertips down to the outside of your left foot, lengthening the right side even more. If you've taken your hand to the mat or a block, press outward into your left knee. So knee into tricep. For 3, or bicep. 2. 1, we're moving toward our balance, so feel free to stay here. Otherwise, more of the bend through the left knee, creep your right foot forward, walk your left fingertips forward, and expand open into your star. Find the stability on the left foot, press away from the left shoulder. Stay here or bend the right knee, catch a hold of the right foot, kick that right foot away from you and feel yourself expand even more. For 3, make sure that you're still breathing. Check in with your breath. Give yourself a smile. For 2. For 1, if you've caught the foot, it's a slow, careful release and expand on the inhale. Exhale, close that right hand off down toward the mat. So you can work here with your foot still grounded if you were still in your extended side angle, but square the shoulders off to the mat now. Or your foot is lifted. Inhale. Exhale, we draw right knee down to the outside of the left ankle. Doesn't need to come all the way down because we're going to inhale, send it back up. Exhale, draw right knee down to the outside of the left ankle. One more time. Inhale back up or back if that's where you were working. Exhale, drawing it all the way down, this time all the way down. And we land hips on the mat, left foot to the outside of the right knee. Landing our twist. Left hand comes toward the back of the left hip. Right arm reaches up, big breath in. Exhale, hook, elbow and knee, draw the left shoulder back, gazing back. Working with a long spine, settling the breath for 3. 2. 1. Taking a counter twist, unraveling on the inhale. Both hands move out to your right, look back over your right shoulder for 3. 2. 1. Lifting back up to center. We're coming to our Gomukhasana, so I'm going to turn to face you. You can bring height underneath your hips. You can work with the right leg straight. We start to creep the left foot around to the left knee stacks on top of the right. So it might be here, it might be here, it might be hips raised. If you do have something underneath your hips, make sure it's just underneath the sit bone, so you don't want to be sitting like completely on top of a whole cushion. It's just to give the sit bones height. Knees stay grounded. All right, so we might press into the feet, lift both hips, have a little wiggle, and come back down. Then we'll start upright, maybe placing one hand on top of the other on your knees. If you can remember what hand you did before, swap it around. Checking in with how you're using your eyes, your jaw, your shoulders, and relax those spaces. The back of the knee, the back of the neck is long. And the breath lengthens out. And you can stay here upright, or if you do have a little bit more space through the hips today, hands come down and we start to lean up forward. But whatever you did on the other side, keeping it as even as possible, even though we're not completely symmetrical, we don't want to work too unevenly with the body. So finding the space that you feel best in. This doesn't necessarily mean without challenge. We are here on our mats to explore, to step out of our comfort zones in a safe and nurturing space. Let's take 3 more breaths. And if you've folded forward, start to lift yourself back up. If your eyes are closed down, you might want to blink them open. We're going to once again reach the hands back behind us, lean back on the hips, uncross the legs. If you're sitting up on something, pop it out of the way. Actually, you might want to leave it there, but make sure that your hands can find the mat. We're going to lift the hips first, and then we're going to come into a forward fold. So if you like to have height underneath your hips in your forward fold, maybe leave it there. Otherwise, fingers face toward you. Feet are hip distance apart. We have the option to stay here, lifting through the chest, or we add in the hips by drawing them up toward the ceiling, coming into our reverse tabletop, reaching out of the shoulders, and maybe drawing the head back, opening through the neck for 3. For 2. For 1. And then chin to chest as you inhale. And lift the hips, or lifted hips down, right down toward the heels as you exhale. Bend the elbows, draw the elbows in toward each other, tuck chin to chest. Big stretch out on those shoulders. For 3. 2. 1. Inhale, lift the chest forward. Take weight into the hips. You might want to walk the feet forward. Exhale, bring some weight out of your hands. If you feel the need to give your wrists a bit of a roll, go for it. We're going to come into a wide-legged position. So legs go as wide as they will allow, toes point up toward the ceiling. Knees can be bent. This is where you might want to have something underneath your hips. If you feel that you sit here when you take the legs long and the spine curls, lift the hips so that you can lengthen the spine. If you have lifted the hips, just be wary in any folding forward that we're not toppling over. All right? Toes point up toward the ceiling. Shoulders relax back and down. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, draw your right ear toward your right shoulder. Inhale, bring your head back to center. Exhale, draw your left ear toward your left shoulder. Inhale, bring your head back to center. Staying upright, you might want to bring your hands back beside your hips, just leaning into the fingertips, lifting through the chest. Otherwise, you can keep that lift, hands come in front of you. And if you can still keep that lift and creep the hands forward, leading with the chest, go for it. So this is exactly the same shape. It just depends on the length of the hamstrings and the openness of the inner thighs across the lower back and up the length of your back. So we're all working with different bodies. Find the place in the stretch that feels best for you. We're not at 100%. You're not really pushing and forcing yourself to hold in a space. You want to be able to soften into it. So if you feel yourself at that 100% and you're shaking, ease back 70%. This is where we have longevity. This is where the muscles can relax so that they can lengthen. And then in a couple of weeks, maybe you'll be here. Okay, enjoying the process, exploring the process, and knowing that there are steps forward and steps backwards. And we just, travel on the paths that are laid out in front of us with these shapes. I'm going to invite you to stay here for as long as feels right. This is one of those shapes that is great for you to spend 5 or 10 minutes in. I like to sit like this if I'm watching TV, and you can just sort of hang out. Otherwise, I'm going to have a play with you with a little bit of core strength, hip flexor strength, and a bit of a weird shape. So please feel free to stay here. Otherwise, I'm going to come back up. And for this shape to work, you want enough flexibility to be able to sit upright here, right? We're going to point the toes. And we're just going to have a little play with the distribution of our body weight. So to start with, we are going to point the toes to make the legs more active so the legs can go light. Keep the chest as lifted as possible. Activate through the core. And we're going to lift the legs up in space. So you can take your hands behind you if you need that support, but keeping the chest lifted, like you're trying to take your chest through your legs. For 3. Smile. For 2. For 1. If your legs are lifted, I know, carefully. Flex the feet out, place the heels down. And come back down. Now we're going to go the other way. The weight is going to come into the hands and out of the hips. How does this work? We need to engage belly button to backbone, lift the hips back and up. So feet are flexed, press down through the heels. Hands are shoulder distance apart, no wider, and we don't want the hands facing in weird directions. Fingers face forward, maybe slightly out, but roughly wrist creases parallel to the edge of your mat, right? We're going to inhale. Exhale. Little rock forward. Inhale, little rock back. Exhale, little rock forward. And maybe the hips lift. For 3. 2. 1. Carefully bringing the hips back down. And again, you might want to give the wrists a little bit of a roll. You might want to give yourself a little bit of a shake. Okay, from here, we're coming back to our downward facing dog. So we bend the knees. Use the legs to bend the knees. Cross at the ankles, roll forward, plant the hands down. And we'll step it back, downward facing dog. Do you want to show them how it's done? This will be our final... No, that's a lie. Never mind. We're going to inhale the right leg up, all the way up. We've been here before. We've done this before. As you exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Inhale, draw the right knee even higher to the ceiling. And you can stay here, or we're going to exhale. Place the right foot down to the outside of the left leg. So let the hips lower as you place the foot down, and we're going to move through our wild thing today. So inhale, lift the chest, lift the hips. Exhale, lower the hips, and it feels a little bit more like a side plank. Or 2 more times. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, controlling the lower down. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, lowering toward your side plank so hips are not too low. Closing the right hand back off down to the mat. Step to your plank. You can go through a vinyasa if you're feeling like it, or we're going to press straight back down dog. A deep breath in. A long breath out. Inhale, it's the left leg that lifts. Flow it up, don't rush it up. Exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip. Inhale, left knee draws upward toward the ceiling, and maybe we stay, or it's a careful placement of your left foot toward the outside of your right leg on the exhale. Hips lower down, press out of the right shoulder, then inhale, hips press up, chest opens, wild thing. Exhale, lower the hips, feel the side body engage. Twice more, steady. Inhale, press up, keep pressing out of that right shoulder. Exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, lowering, not all the way down, just toward your side plank. So we can find a little bit of stability. Close the left hand down toward the mat. Find your full plank, maybe a vinyasa, or straight to your down dog. And now this is the last one. So pressing your hands into the mat, your fingertips into the mat, allowing the head to go heavy. Noticing how this shape has changed for you today. Let's take a full breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. Inhale through the nose. Use the exhale to bring the knees down. Untuck the toes and press back toward your child's pose. I'm going to go knees together. If you want to take your knees wider, please do so. Hips back to heels. Let me just switch this back over. Forehead down. Forehead can rest on a pillow or the mat. And we'll take the arms back beside the body, so that the shoulders can really relax down. The shoulder blades melt away from each other. Taking a few breaths here for grounding.
And you can stay, or we're going to come into a little more of a radical back stretch by taking hands to heels. Avoiding this if you do have any neck problems, neck niggles. Draw chin to chest so the crown of the head comes down onto the mat. The forehead is toward the knees. And then we're going to lift the hips up. Pull feet and hands against each other so the hips are high. There's not that much weight in the head. For 3. This is optional. 2. 1. If the hips are lifted, bring them back down. If your hands are on your heels, release them. Bring your hands down by your sides. Inhale, lift it up. So that we can rock out onto one hip and sweep those legs forward. Okay, we'll go feet together or hip distance apart, whatever feels best. Flex your toes back toward your face, knees are as bent as they need to be, sit bones grounded. And again, if you don't feel much of a stretch through the backs of the legs, if we're really quite tight across the hips, across the lower back, you might want to bend the knees more. Rather than folding forward, stay upright, hands by your sides, and work the legs straight, towards straight, and it doesn't need to be all the way there. And you might feel more of a hamstring stretch. So that's what we're going for. You can be here if you have a strap, good option. But otherwise, we don't always need props. They just can really increase the stretch when they're around, okay? So here, if this is where you find the hamstring stretch, otherwise, keeping the lift of the chest, we start to take the shape forward. So if the hands can come forward, cool. If not, also cool. If you can reach for your feet, go for it. You might not need to. Make sure the shoulders roll back, the chest forward. Wherever you are, you want to be feeling a stretch through the backs of your legs. So upright, legs towards straight, or lowering, legs towards straight, spine towards straight. Jaw relaxes, neck relaxes, shoulders relax. Three breaths here. And then starting to lift back up. Bring the hands down beside the body. Lift the hips, shuffle them forward. Bring the feet back out to hip distance apart. And we're going to lie ourselves back down onto our backs. Hands come down beside the body. We're going to work into a bridge. I'm going to give you the option of a wheel. It's just quite a drastic shape, but we've prepared the body enough for it if that's in your practice. Otherwise, take a second round of bridge, okay? I'm going to talk through the bridge first. So, feet hip distance apart, hands down by the body. Take a deep breath in. Make sure the knees go no wider than hip distance. And we're going to start to lift through the hips. Walk up onto the shoulders, lift through the hips. Want to find a little nice big stretch out for the hip flexors. And a lot in our day-to-day, our hip flexors are shorter because of the amount we have to sit. So these sort of shapes are really beautiful. I'm just aware that the microphone is right in my chin. So you want chin to chest. My apologies, my voice is really loud here. Hips lift. And then maybe you walk up onto the shoulders and interlace the fingers. So we're opening across the hip flexors. We're also opening across the top of the chest and pulling the shoulders back, which again, in our day-to-day life, our constant sitting, our shoulders tend to roll forward. How is your breath moving here? And then when you're ready to come down, if your fingers are interlaced, release them and start to roll yourself down vertebra by vertebra, taking a moment of constructive rest by walking the feet out to mat distance apart, dropping the knees together, hands onto belly. Notice the body respond to that heart opener. How do you feel? Okay, round 2, bridge again, or wheel. If you haven't taken a wheel before, let's leave it for now. Let's work with our bridge. It's a beautiful opener. If you do have a wheel in your practice, move through it. I'm not going to demonstrate it. You know where to go. I can talk through it. I'm going to demonstrate a bridge. So if hands, feet to hip distance apart, knees no wider than hip distance apart, hands down by your body or up underneath your shoulders, fingers facing toward them if you're taking your wheel. We're going to lift the hips up. Hips lift first. If you're in your wheel, now pressing into your hands, lifting your head and your shoulders. Allowing the head to release. Wherever we are, pressing the chest toward the chin so the chest really lifts. Bridges, maybe again interlacing the fingers, walking high on the shoulders. If you're in your wheel, if you feel you need to lower, always draw chin to chest so the back of the head finds the mat rather than the top of the head. Chest toward the back of the room, pressing into the feet for 3, 2, 1. Wheels, chin to chest, start to lower. Bridges, if you've got your fingers interlaced, release them and let's all start to lower down. And again, finding constructive rest, feet wide, knees together, hands to belly. Feel your body respond. Beautiful. Keep the feet wide on the mat. Take your arms wide out in a big T by your side. Separate the knees. Inhale, more windscreen wipers. As you exhale, both knees move out to the left. You can look over your right shoulder. And then inhale, draw the knees back up to center. Exhale, take them to the right. You can look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale out to the left, and we're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. You might want to pick your left foot up and place it on top of your right knee. If you've taken the left foot on the right knee, removing it, inhale, knees back to center. And exhale out toward the right. And if you took the option to lift the foot on the other side, this time it's right foot on left knee. For a few breaths here. If your foot is on your knee, removing it, knees back to center. And 2 options now. We can again take our constructive rest, knees together, feet wide. Or if you're comfortable in your Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees wide, you might want to be here. You might want to support the outsides of the thighs with pillows, just to give them a little bit of support. Hands are going to come onto the belly. So whatever option feels best, take it. And we're going to finish off with a cooling breath, laying down on our backs. So the breath is in through the mouth, out through the nose. I've done this one with you guys before. If you haven't experienced it, The breath through the mouth is either through a rolled tongue, so if you can make your tongue like a big U and breathe through that. Make as much sound as you can. Close the mouth, exhale through the nose. If you can't roll your tongue, all good, totally fine. All you do is tongue to top teeth and you breathe through that. Again, make noise. Close the mouth, exhale through the nose. So finding your mouth position, and what you really feel is the coolness of the air in over the tongue, and you bring that coolness into your body, then you can release the warmer air through your nose. So let's take 10 rounds of breath here. Back of the head heavy. Inhale. Close the mouth, exhale through the nose. Inhale. Through the nose, exhale. Feel the change in temperature. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And we've got 5 more. Take them at your own time. If you're already starting to feel quite cool, it does depend on where you are. You might want to release the breath and just focus in and out through the nose, keeping a little warmth for your Shavasana. If, like me, you're in a really warm room, you might want to continue. We've got 3 more if you're continuing. 2 more in through the mouth. And then releasing the breath that you're taking. Let's inhale through the nose together. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. If you are in your Supta Baddha Konasana, take your hands to the outsides of the thighs, draw the knees together. If your knees are together, your feet are apart, heel toe your feet together, and let's draw the knees up into the chest. Give them a nice big squeeze. Our final shape today is Ananda Balasana, our happy baby. So soles of the feet toward the ceiling, bend the knees down toward the armpits. And stay here, hands to the backs of the thighs, or reach the hands to the outside edges of the feet. Draw the feet down, but kick the feet up. So draw the feet down with the hands, but press the soles of the feet onto the ceiling. Lower back is grounded and open, back of the head is heavy, shoulders are relaxed back and down. Take a deep breath into the belly, feel the belly expand like a balloon in between your thighs. Open the mouth, sigh the breath out. 2 more here, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. 1 more, inhale. Sigh it out. And then releasing the grip on your legs or your feet. And starting to lengthen out to your Shavasana. Releasing any activity in the breath. If you want to take something underneath your knees, please do so. If the lower back niggles, this is a really nice option. And otherwise, finding a sense of evenness on your mat. Back of the head is heavy, jaw is relaxed. Palms are facing up in a gesture of openness, but there's no activity through them, so the fingers are curling in toward the palms. Notice your energy levels in your body, how you're feeling. And this might be different to when we started our movement this morning. And here we can bring awareness to how we can use movement
to change the way we feel, and even to alter the quality of thoughts through our mind. As you relax deeper and deeper into this state of Shavasana, allow yourself to feel with gratitude. Feel with gratitude. Send it in toward yourself, grateful for the space you have made in your day to be here. To ground in the body, to be present in the breath. And as you are full with gratitude, if you wish to send it outward to anything or anyone, do so. We can use this practice to raise our vibrations and be able to send more energy, more love outward. So as you lie here, sending both in and out. Please take as much time as you can in this practice of surrender. I'm going to leave you here on your mat this morning. Thank you for joining me and have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.